You just got wrecked.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So I hope everyone's having an awesome weekend so far. Pleasure to have you back on the channel. Having a look at what's going on, we're seeing slightly more red today than we have seen in the past, 4 or 5 days, but it's obviously because we've had a lot of days of green. But the interesting thing is the overall market cap, it just doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to budge from this like 139, 140, 141 sort of billion-dollar channel. We just keep bouncing around and bouncing around, right? So you can see now we're at 139.9, which is basically 140, right? And we have, Bitcoin losing 0.52%. Bitcoin dominance is still falling down, which means obviously the dominance is going into the altcoins. The altcoins are having really, really nice rallies, but the overall market cap is staying the same. All right, so what do we have today as far as the biggest gainers on the front page? Well, we have Repo up, Maximine again, Project Pi, Nebulous, Aurora, Hypercash, Ravencoin, Omisego, and Tron actually skyrocketed because it got bumped out of 10th place by Cardano, and then instantly, I don't know if somebody sent out a message to the Tron community, but yeah, Tron just pumped its way back to the 10th spot. So that's what's going on. Also, anyone out there involved in this freaking Maximine or Maximine coin? This thing has been on a freaking tear lately, and I came over here. It's doing $12 million worth of volume on Coinbean. Now, we do know Coinbean has had a little bit of accusations lately about sort of, wash trading and inflating their volumes and stuff like that. But this is just incredible. Hit BTC, I freaking hate that exchange personally, and I'm not a fan of Livecoin. So I don't know. I mean, congratulations to anybody that got in on this. Not really any of my favorite exchanges right here, but yeah, so yeah, congratulations. Also this morning, did you guys see this coin, Kajutel, that pumped 1,000%? Now, granted, it only was doing $113,000 worth of volume, but holy crap, 1,000%, that's insane. Well, let's see where it's at right now. Yeah, that was short-lived. Let's see what it did in one day. Oh, that's totally normal market activity, guys. Hope no one got burned on that one, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, what do we have going on the Bitcoin chart today? Well, we do have some things are happening here. The first thing that I noticed is we have actually broken out of this channel. Now, we've broken out of it before, but we always kind of like pulled ourselves back into it. This time, we didn't instantly pull ourselves back into it like we did when we had that dump on the 21st. So, basically, we've sort of found new support here on this trend line. So we might actually be breaking out of this channel and moving into this wedge. So now we're kind of looking at, this point. But I'm also keeping my eye on, essentially it would be March 24th. As like a pretty big move, but it could happen sooner. Now, if we do fall below that, we do have the support at 39.43. I've talked about this, and I originally said there was no support between these 2 points. I had to look at it again. I suppose if you want to be picky, you could say, well, we had some resistance back here, right here, and right here, and then we had one support here, okay? So is this resistance now going to turn into the support? Could be, right? We've seen that happen before. So worst case scenario, short term dumping. I could see Bitcoin going to 3,912. Obviously, best case scenario would be somewhere over this $4,045 mark. And I do think if this time we break out above the 4,045, I think we're going to go a lot higher. But I think if we break down below this line, then I think that the next support is 3,911. But I don't think we're going to go anywhere major outside of this channel, okay? So that's personally what I'm looking at short term. Obviously, it's really boring right now. You can see the Fear and Greed Index is dead neutral, like spot neutral 50, right? So it's really hard to gauge the overall market sentiment right now. So I wanted to actually move on and talk about some other things. I got some really cool stories to bring up today. Also wanted to talk about the Mt. Gox, trustee actually paying the creditors back. Yesterday, we kind of brushed it off. Today, I think that we may have another story kind of emerging. Interestingly enough, it could actually help the markets, not because of the dump, but because of what it could do to the altcoins. And I'm going to get into that in just a second. But before I do, I wanted to just talk about what some other people are saying in the space. Obviously, we've been battling with this $4,000 mark over and over and over again. And unfortunately, the more you hit it and you can't really, break through and keep it, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And, it could be bad short term. But this is what Nassim Aslam is saying, now he's the chief marketer at Fin Markets, okay? He's also a business and financial economics graduate from the University of Leeds, and he also received his qualified financial advisor certification from the University College Dublin. What does that mean in crypto? Probably absolutely nothing, but in the real world, this guy is certified, right? So he went on and said, since December 14th, 2018, there's been several battles between bulls and bears at the level of 4,000. We know this. However, in each of the battles, the bulls have lost the war because after the first attack at 4,000, the bears have been able to gain enough over and over again to keep pushing these levels down. However, he does say that, hey, if you're a long-term investor, you really don't need to worry about what's going to be happening in the next, couple months in these short-term levels. I mean, realistically speaking, I don't really care what happens, especially until May, when we have the year leading up to the halvening. So, I mean, we could take another hit. My eyes have been set on May. I've been looking at May since January. So he also added that it's about making an intelligent choice and buying when the price is still close enough to the bottom. The odds of you timing the actual bottom are such a fraction of a percentage, it's ridiculous. A very handful of people are ever going to actually, get the exact bottom. And let's be real, most of us have really busy lives, right? No one has time, even I don't have time to look at the charts all day long, right? So the idea is to get as close to the bottom as you can. Now, obviously, everyone's looking at this 20K to beat, right? That's what we're looking for. We're all in our minds going, oh, well, if I could buy it at 3 to 20, what's my percentage gain on that, right? Well, according to him, there's fairly high chance that the next bull market will push Bitcoin past its 20K, and he's saying he thinks we're going to see a $100,000 Bitcoin, but he actually believes that it could even go as high as 400,000. Now, we do know if Bitcoin was to get over 333,000, well, then that would mean that we would have the same market cap as gold currently. So if you believe, like I believe, that Bitcoin is digital gold, gold 2.0, then yeah, a $300,000 Bitcoin is not unrealistic whatsoever. He also talks about Bitcoin price breaking its longest streak of monthly losses. That's the first time that's ever happened in the history of Bitcoin. So that was something really worth noting, and he considers that to be a very strong signal. Now, before we move on, I always like to just put things into perspective, right? Now, this chart right here, you might think that this looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart we're looking at right now. Well, that's actually the purchasing power of the US dollar. And as you can see, Dan Hedl here said, the game Monopoly, right? The board game, sold for $2 in 1935 when it first came out. Obviously, in that box, you get Monopoly money. Well, that original stack from 1935 is now worth $50 as a collector's item, right? So Monopoly money literally holds more value than fiat currency, okay? And if you guys want to have a look at this right here, this is the chart of the ridiculous inflation. Now, it's not as insane as other places. It's not like, Venezuela or something like that. But look at this. You could see in 1913, the Federal Reserve is created. 1933, FDR's executive order makes it illegal to hold the gold coin, bullions, or certificates. Bretton Woods established the USD as the world reserve currency. And then obviously we know in the 70s, Nixon took us off the gold standard. And yeah, so now basically, long story short, if you had a dollar in 1913 and you held that dollar, well, that dollar's purchasing power today can buy you about 5 cents worth of what you could have gotten back in 1913. So considering what's happened with Bitcoin, it's not really that crazy. When you look at just the fact when I first got into Bitcoin, when I bought my first Bitcoin, it was in May of 2017, and I bought my first Bitcoin at $2,200. So, despite going up to 20K, in just that short amount of time, I'm still up. And I'm up by, quite a significant amount. So, compared to this, you got to really just, step back and have a look at things and, take things with a grain of salt, but also realize that the dollar is guaranteed to lose 2 to 3% annually. It's going to happen. It's written in the freaking formula. So just pointing that out. Now, I want to talk about Narek Gevorgian, co-founder at CoinStats. Now, this is a cryptocurrency research and portfolio management solution, and he said that it's going to take some time for Bitcoin and the crypto markets to see an all-time high again, but he said it is not dead like some people out there are claiming. There's still companies investing hundreds of millions of dollars into blockchain projects and developing their products. So, obviously, once again, kind of reiterating the sort of theme we've had these past couple days, why are you seeing all these institutions get involved, raising money? I mean, Bakkt has got a ridiculous valuation and they don't even have any customers yet, right? So he talks about right now, most of these organizations that are working on decentralized products are competing between each other, right? But we need to see what they're going to do when we see the competition with some of these centralized entities, right? Now, if we can get one of these decentralized products or, a killer app to actually not only be just as good, but better than a centralized solution, well, that I personally believe, and he personally believes as well, is going to be very, very significant in the space overall moving forward. Now, we also have Arthur Hayes coming out, and he's saying that the market recovery will begin around Q4. Although I think we've already started a recovery. Can we go lower? Sure. Okay. But he says that the 2019 chop will be intense, but the markets will claw back to $10,000. So he's calling for a $10,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. I do want to let you guys know he was calling for a $50,000 Bitcoin before. He changed his tune a little bit. But hey, man, a lot of people were really optimistic last year. It wasn't just him. Tom Lee, a lot of guys were making really, crazy predictions. He says it's a very significant psychological barrier. And he also notes that 20,000 is the ultimate recovery. However, and here's the important part, it took 11 months to get from 1,000 to 10,000, but less than 1 month to get from 10,000 to 20,000 back to 10,000. So think about that, okay? That's why this period that we're in right now, this crypto winter, whatever you guys want to call it, this really boring, drawn out, lengthy time period, this is a blessing. This is an opportunity to accumulate before this insane spike up and spike down. And when is the bull market coming? Well, hopefully at some point by the end of this year. But we're probably not going to see a straight up moonshot like we did the last time. It's probably going to be a little more gradual this time, right? Also wanted to point out, he said, all is not lost. Nothing goes up or down in a straight line. 2019 will be boring, but green shoots will appear towards the end of the year. Okay. Now I wanted to talk about this Mt. Gox situation. You may think this doesn't concern you because maybe you weren't involved in Mt. Gox. Okay, fair enough. But it does concern you because once these people are paid off, the question is, what are they going to do with the funds? Are they just going to walk away and say, hey man, I got really burnt from crypto. I'm good. I'm just going to take these dollars, accept my loss or whatever, or not my loss, but my lack of potential gain, right? And walk away. Or are they going to do something else with it? Well, this is a Reddit post from an actual individual that lost their money in this Mt. Gox incident. And they say, so I was on this, I had over 100 Bitcoin on the exchange. Now, obviously it was a lot cheaper back then, but that's still quite a lot of Bitcoin. So he says, I can't decide if I'm happy with the decision, but back in 2017, I decided to accept a payout from an investment firm to buy out my claim and transfer ownership to them. I often think about what I'd do if I received that payout today. The first thing I'd do is probably buy altcoins like Ethereum, other tokens, or maybe Stellar. Okay, so the landscape has totally changed since 2013, back when Bitcoin was pretty much the only thing worth holding. Nowadays, I no longer believe that Bitcoin is the cutting edge tech that will win out. Other platforms have more interesting projects and use cases going on. I don't think I'm the only Mt. Gox creditor who thinks this way. A bunch of us are about to receive large payouts from long-term forgotten holdings. An easy swing from Bitcoin to alts could be in store. Now, just give me a second. I'm going to comment back on this, but I want to just real quick talk about what's actually happening, okay? So what they're doing is they're going to end up paying these guys out. So they have approved amounts of over 802,000 Bitcoin, 792,000 Bitcoin Cash, and $38 million just in US dollars. So that's $38 million in US dollars, $3.2 billion worth of Bitcoin, and $124 million worth of Bitcoin Cash. So here's the thing. There's an obvious issue. There's not enough secured cryptocurrency still in the Gox coffers to cover approved claims for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, right? So how are they going to end up paying these guys? And what about all the forks? They talk about, all these forks that you weren't able to claim. You obviously have the ones that we have, the Bitcoin Cash forks, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin X, Bitcoin Diamond, Lightning Bitcoin, Bitcoin Private, Super Bitcoin, Clams, Bitcoin Interest, Bitcoin Atom, there's a Bitcoin God. They're mostly just shit coins. But the point is each one of these coins has a value as well. So how are they going to handle this? Now, getting back to this discussion from this guy about Mt. Gox. Well, here's the situation. If they get these forks, if that's what they end up paying them, I would say they're going to just sell them. And I think these altcoins that are Bitcoin forks are going to suffer if they do. If they do. If they don't do that and they choose to just pay out in Bitcoin, well, then I do think that there will be a sell-off into cash. Maybe some will hold it, but then I think a lot of people will go into the altcoins as well. So I think given the current circumstance that we're in this time, I don't think that the Mt. Gox situation will actually have as detrimental of an effect on the markets as I initially thought that it would. But I am open for your opinion, and I want to let you know. Or I want to ask you actually, what do you think will happen if everyone gets their money? Do you think that they'll hold? Do you think they'll just cash out and say screw this and dump Bitcoin a little bit, dump their altcoins, move into other altcoins? Will they keep it in the ecosystem? Let me know below what you personally think. I think that the majority, I think, will buy altcoins personally because I think they see the potential in the gains they could make. So that's just what I think, but maybe you have a completely different opinion on it. And I just wanted to bring that up. But when you want to talk about positivity, you have, look at this. It says, what crypto bear market? Japanese bank giant SBI Holdings, a major financial and banking giant in Japan, has formally announced the launch of SBI Mining Chip Company Limited, officially entering the Bitcoin mining industry. So this is just more money being allocated to the blockchain space, right? And this is mining this time. So people are saying that this suggests that the company has confidence in the long-term growth of Bitcoin and cryptos. So, side note, since April of 2017, within a 2-year span, the hash rate of Bitcoin, as you can see right here, has increased from 4 exahash to 48.5. This is more than 12x. The exponential increase in the hash rate of the Bitcoin network indicates the rise in computing power that is used to protect the blockchain. You know this, right? You guys know this. So anyway, on a yearly basis, the hash rate of the Bitcoin network remains higher than where it was a year ago. In fact, since April of 2018, the hash rate of the Bitcoin network has nearly doubled from 25 to 48.5 exahash. Now, this is really good just from what's happening in the background, right? We really thought that the miners were just throwing in the towel and giving up. Well, we had Mr. Christoph on the channel, right? And he said to himself, wait a minute, everyone's turning off their machines. I'm going to start turning mine on. I'm going to start buying some, right? So you're seeing that interest. So it could also be said that SBI Holdings may see an opportunity to evolve into a major company in the global mining industry. So should Bitmain be scared? We may have a new competitor. So we will just leave that there and you can decide what you think about that. So talking about some coins, I know you guys, it's the weekend, got to get on out of here. Well, we have another whale. This time it is on the Tron blockchain. So since March 8th, there appears to be large withdrawals from a Tron wallet address. Apparently, they moved 2 million TRX, which is roughly $15 million in just 2 days. You can see right here, here's the balance and boom, sold, right? So now the balance has been split into all of these different wallets. What does it mean? I don't know what it means, but hey, people love talking about whales moving money. So if you guys want, you can go have a little detective time on the weekend on that. Now also, talk about Western Union. They're partnering with Stellar collaborator Thunes to enable Western Union clients to transfer funds directly to mobile wallets globally. So according to a press release, the partnership with Thunes will focus on enabling the use of Western Union's digital network or Western Union agent locations to transfer funds directly to recipients' mobile wallets. But at this point, why even use Western Union? So, moving on, talk about some other coin news. We have some, staking rewards coming up from Icon. So it says Iconist will receive delegation rewards based on the reward rate from each sector. For example, if the reward rate, it's a tongue twister, is 3%, 4%, and 5% for reps, dApps, and EEPs, respectively, you can earn 12%. So pretty pumped about this. Can't wait. Actually have myself a small portion of Icon again. I bought back into it, guys. Not now. I actually bought back in a little bit ago. But yeah, I'm excited for the staking, so I want to at least see how that turns out. So we'll have to see what's up with that. We also have IOTA being piloted in the private sector by well-known companies such as Bosch, also Volkswagen. So now we have Zoox that will bring IOTA to many stores in the US. So it says that they've teamed with IOTA to support crypto payments in retail stores offering payments via Apple Pay and Samsung Pay. And it looks like it will be happening April this year, starting with America and then moving to Europe. So congratulations, IOTA. Now we have a potential another scam. I'm trying to just rapid fire this news for you guys. So They're saying this thing pays out more than 4x. They're calling it the next BitConnect. Why am I even talking about this? Why am I giving this light on my channel? Well, because I don't want you to get burned, guys. You know what happened with BitConnect, right? So you can see they talked about it right here. Obviously, if things like this seem too good to be true, they are. Ponzi schemes, clearly what happens, as you guys know, it's the people that are coming in that are paying the payouts to the old people. So if you get in first, you're good. You're getting paid out, right? But in the end, eventually, the last people to join usually get burned. So this is the website over here. I had it pulled up. There was a timer up here, literally a timer that was telling me I had like 5 minutes to do something or else I wasn't eligible for a bonus. That's old school marketing tactics, guys. That's the oldest tricks in the book right there. Countdown timers telling you have limited amount of time. First sign. Okay, what is this? Doubly. Every user has his own personal link. Okay, yeah, whatever. So Doubly is a registered, yeah, okay. 5% bonus. Yeah, I don't know, guys. These types of things that are just guaranteeing you 15% commission, referral, invest, I don't know about this. So personally, I would be very, 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 very skeptical about this. I would not personally get involved in this, but hey, I could be totally wrong, and this could be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I just don't trust it. I just don't trust things that guarantee you percentage payouts and say that they're done because of automatic trading bots. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't trust them. I just don't. So that's my opinion on that. But if you want to go spend your money on it, have fun. Let me know how that goes in about 8 months. So also, we have Bitcoin futures volume is apparently more significant than we think. So there was this report that came out. Everyone's talking about it. I guess I'm not going to go into it in too much detail. You probably already heard about it. But it basically claims that 95% of all reported Bitcoin trading volume is faked. 95% is pretty damn high. I always knew there was wash trading, but 95% of the volume, that's nuts. So basically, if you take that on CoinMarketCap, they're saying that the average daily volume for Bitcoin is about 6 billion, but Bitwise argues that going by its own mythology, in its 227-page presentation to the SEC, which I do have here, the actual average daily Bitcoin trading volume is only 273 million. What? That is incredibly low if true. So the average daily futures volume on CME and CBOE combined totals near 85 million, right? Which is not too far off from the average daily spot volume on Binance, 110. The exchange, which according to them, performs the largest number of legitimate trades. That's interesting considering all the, Binance is the devil rumors. They actually say that it is the most credible and legitimate as far as the trades are concerned. So let me actually pull this up over here. Where is it? Oh, they also concluded that their overall findings demonstrates that their ETF proposal would meet the criteria. So, they submitted that to the SEC. This is the report right here, by the way. You can see a lot of information. I personally don't really have time to read all this. So they use Coinbean. Look at that, Coinbean. We were just talking about that. That's the Maximine coin as a suspicious exchange. You can see what they say right here with the way that they talk about how it goes from suspicious orders that pop in and then they alternate between red and green. So it's buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, right? And have you ever looked at that on exchanges too? You'll see that on lower trading volume. I don't know if I have anything I could pull up right now, but on lower exchanges, you'll literally see it just going like this or like that, right? Totally manipulated. Actually, bots do that a lot with Dogecoin. If you look at the way Dogecoin trades a little bit, but you know what though? Here's the thing: they bring this up, but they fail to mention the fact that how many bots are trading on traditional exchange, like real stocks, like traditional stocks? Come on, those are those are ridden with bots and fake volume and all that stuff. Anyway, so it's just something that happens. It's just part of what goes on. So moving on beyond this, answering some questions about the status of Bakkt's application, because what the heck's going on with Bakkt? Well, they say that we've seen multiple delays. Now, Dan Berkovich, the commissioner, avoided a direct update on the project, but he did say that the CFTC was trying to assist all cryptocurrency-related products in obtaining the necessary approval for launch in the US. They say we have a very interactive process with all the entities that come before us and are working diligently with all the applicants to process their applications and get their products on the market. He said, but we need to ensure that a crypto product, just like any other product that's traded on our markets, meets all of the standards. But hey, that's some good news, right? They're working on it. They're working on it, guys. And just kind of fun here. Somebody jokingly said, "Ooh, 1983 McDonald's utility token." So this is pretty interesting. Look at this. 50 cents off your next purchase of a large sandwich and medium Coke or Diet Coke. 1 token per transaction. Details at participating McDonald's. No cash value. So I wonder what the cost of making these little tokens was. It's had to be less than 50 cents, clearly, right? But that's pretty cool. I don't know, just kind of a funny thing to end it on. But yeah, guys, it's Saturday, and you probably can't tell because I'm always in front of this damn green screen. For the first freaking time in like 3 days, the sun has come out. It has been so ugly and gloomy and rainy in New York these past couple days. The sun finally came out, so I'm feeling good for completely different reasons. I miss the freaking sun, but of course, it's like 20 mile per hour, winds gusting right now. So there you go. Can never get a break. But that being said, you guys rock. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I freaking love you guys. You're the reason that I do this every single day. If you haven't gotten subscribed yet, you know what to do. Also, turn on the bell notification so you can get these updates immediately. That way you guys do not miss anything. And I'm done. That's it. That's enough for today. We've gone too long. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.